If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Heading to Las Vegas to catch the action at Allegiant Stadium? Skip the traffic and the sky-high room rates of the Strip. Book your stay at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. The South Point is located just 7 miles away from the stadium, and it's a quick trip up the freeway, making it an affordable rideshare or taxi ride. And don't worry about getting here when you land in Vegas. We offer a convenient airport shuttle to get your getaway off to a stress-free start. Shuttles are also available on Raider game days for a small fee. So whether you're rooting for your team or seeing your favorite band in concert at Allegiant Stadium, South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa is your ticket to all the excitement.
Ready to ramp up your excitement for playoff football? Join our hosts as they break down the matchups, key angles, and futures markets in the final episodes of Football Frenzy.
Seattle Seahawks get it done.
You look at these two teams and you say, wow, they did really well against quality opponents.
Brock Purdy to throw an interception tied up with the Seahawks in this game. I think that's a little bit of a correlation.
I would have given a huge ups to the Rams defensively. Not anymore.
Don't miss your chance to cash tickets and root for your favorite team. Stream Football Frenzy every Friday at noon Pacific.
Here we go. Welcome in, everybody. This is going to be a lot of fun. Happy Tuesday. This is Sports by the Book. We are live from the South Point Hotel and Casino 5 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m., and on Fridays, noon Pacific time. A lot to get to today. We're going to spend the first 30 minutes recapping all the action yesterday on the hardwood and the ice. We're going to break down the 7 hockey games coming up tonight. And then the last half of the show, we're going to have Katie Mox from CBS Sports HQ join us to give her picks for the big game coming up this Sunday. So going to be a fun one, as well as the rest of the week. We'll keep you updated on all of that. But let's bring in co-host and producer here. I'm Alex White. Bringing in now Ryan McCormick. Ryan, let's talk about last night's results. How did they go for you? And another over for the Grand Salami.
Yeah, another over for the Grand Salami. We'll get to the recap. We'll go there before I show you guys my whiteboard. But the South Point Sportsbooks recap. So these closing lines are these trends based on closing lines are all brought to you by the South Point Hotel and Casino Sportsbook. So numbers based off of what closed upstairs. We got 10 NHL games yesterday. Favorites went 7-3 straight up. 6 games had a puck line covered by the favorite, or 6 games had a puck line covered. 3 of which were by a favorite. 3 were by an underdog, so a reverse puck line there. And totals were 6-3-1 in the NHL. Home teams defeat away teams 37-31 if you're betting on that kind of prop. And yes, Alex mentions the Grand Salami goes over the 63 with 68 total goals. You are laying minus a 115 price to go over there on the Grand Salami. Going to the hardwood, we had 18 games in men's college basketball, 19, one of which was postponed. So 18 games tipped off and went final. So 14-4 were favorites straight up, 11-7 against the spread, and totals were 7-10-1. And then in the NBA, just 4 games yesterday, favorites 3-1 straight up, 2-2 against the spread, and totals also went 3-1 there. But Alex, I think you got something else to mention that's here at the South Point property.
Well, if we're talking about coming up this weekend with the big game parties, if you're looking for somewhere to go, you want to come here to the South Point, free admission, betting windows and kiosks, food and drink specials, free parking, and there will be plenty of seats because they will have it in the grand ballroom, the hall. There will be plenty of spots in the sports book. So yeah, best specials in town. If you don't know what you're doing for this Sunday, February 8th, come on down to the South Point.
Free admission, free parking. That's $100 extra that you're going to have to place bets on the big game rather than going somewhere else. So you say it's the best spot in town. It absolutely is the best spot in town to watch a game, especially for these big, massive games with massive crowds. There's no party like the South Point party.
Yes, looking forward to it, definitely. And as we mentioned, you will have betting windows and kiosks at every location. So you don't have to worry about that running down to the sportsbook to get in any bets. Ryan, question, you were talking about hockey and reverse puck line. I didn't do it. I didn't fire on the Sabres, but you liked a couple road teams, and they were one of them. Did you end up taking them on the puck line?
I did not. I just took the money line minus 105. They were one of my three. Actually, the three minus prices on my whiteboard yesterday were the ones to win. The 2+ prices were the ones to lose. So, I mean, I'd be okay with that because we're still up a unit. So that's still a positive day on the whiteboard. Doesn't follow the Thursday from last week quite as well, but still a winning day. So we'll hope to get another one for you guys today, especially with 7 games in the NHL today.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, definitely. It is tough to follow that kind of day that you had last Thursday. I'm pretty happy went 2-0 with my totals, 1-1 on sides, but that's really just because I got a little cute with the Stars going with the puck line there, so they were a double bet for me. But so good overall day for us here. Love to hear from you guys, how you guys did. I'm seeing some regulars in the chat here with Bob Custer, Robert in there. So thank you guys all for watching us live and jumping in. More poll questions for you, as we always do on Sports by the Book. What do we have today, Ryan? And then potentially any posts for everybody.
Well, so today for our live viewers, we got Totally Tuesday, talking about total in the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. So which of these alternate total props are you taking? Under 35.5, getting plus 330 here at the South Point. Under 40.5, getting plus 190. Or we're going overs. Over 54.5 plus 270, and over 59.5, you're getting plus 450 there for alternate totals in this weekend Super Bowl 60. We also have linked in the description today's post over on our YouTube talking about touchdowns today. So Touchdown Tuesday, give us your touchdown prop selection for Sunday's game that lets you know this, and let us know the side of the prop that we gave you in the comments over on that post. But total touchdowns combined by both teams, which quarterback throws a touchdown first. Will Rashid Shaheed or will Hunter Henry score touchdowns in this year's Super Bowl? So after you guys make sure you're subscribed to the channel and check that one out and vote and comment which side you're liking there. You can also go back to yesterday's where we were talking about a prop for Sam Darnold. So the results for that one, which prop would you most be inclined to play for Sam Darnold in this year's Super Bowl? Will Sam Darnold throw a touchdown pass or an interception first? You're getting plus 240 on that interception prop. Sam Darnold total completions at 20.5 is where you get to go over or under. Sam Darnold gross passing yards, 230.5 is the over under. And will Sam Darnold throw an interception? Yes or no? Getting a plus 110 there on the no. But 40% of the viewers from yesterday's poll or post went with gross passing yards. We did not get anybody to specify whether they're going over or under, but that's why you guys got to leave your comments so we can give you a special shout out, let you know, let everybody know what you're thinking about in this year's Super Bowl.
We also have a final prediction in there, right? Or predicted score.
Yes.
For everybody to jump in and let us know for that. So we'll keep an eye on all of those. Everybody else, I just read the first 2 in there, but it looks like Dean Hill and Attila are in there as well. I don't know what that next one says, but Santiago, I see that at the end of it. So thank you all for being active, jumping in the chat. There is JR as well. Good to see all of our regulars there. Interesting stuff we're going to get to here, Ryan, as we kind of add a prop a day. We'll hear from Katie and props that she likes and which side she will be betting on, whether it is the Patriots or the Seahawks. But before all of that, I do just want to remind everybody, if there is a college basketball game that you would like a number on, I've been slacking a little bit. I've been dialed in on the Super Bowl and keeping up with hockey, but I do have Kenny White's power ratings available. I can go through his numbers if there are any college basketball games that you would like. I also threw in 2 plays from him. I'll say those now because last time I just absolutely forgot about those. But Toledo -1 is one of them, and Indiana State -1.5 is another one for Kenny White's place of the day. If you want to know about a game specifically, please let us know in the chat, and I will give you those numbers. But let's dive into some hockey. This is Ryan and I's specialty, our favorite here. We've only got a couple more days, and then we will be covering Olympic hockey. Ryan, we will be keeping up on that. And of course, we do have a special guest one of those days. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah, that special guest you're talking about is Eddie Olczyk, who will get to call games over in Milan for the NBC broadcast. So that will be a whole lot of fun to get to talk to him about what's going on over there and looking ahead at the second half of this NHL season once we get back from the break towards the end of this month. But to talk about the hockey games today, again, 7 of them. We'll start up in New Jersey where the Blue Jackets are taking on the Devils. We've got a pick'em price, -110 either way on either side here at the South Point, and then a total of 6 with a -110 either way, over or under.
Look at that. I mean, really, I got to agree with all of these numbers here. -110 on both sides. I made this game 6 flat, so that is what the books are giving you. I don't have any strong feel. I mean, if you aren't going off of numbers here, it's got to be more based off of feel. Columbus is the only one that's playing tomorrow, so maybe if you want to look that way, and lean to the Devils here. But New Jersey has a nice 2-1 lead for the season in the series. So I've got nothing, Ryan. Anything for you in this matchup?
Yeah, you mentioned that they have played 3 prior meetings. This is the 4th and final one of the season. The road team has won all 3 of the prior instances. The 2 meetings in Columbus, the Devils won 3-2, and the 1 prior meeting here in New Jersey, the Jackets won 5-3. I do have a slight opinion in this game, as the Blue Jackets are winners of 5 straight, winners of 9 of their last 10. So feeling pretty good. It is also the first of a back-to-back. As Alex had mentioned, they are at home tomorrow night against the Chicago Blackhawks. They are 6-2, and the Blue Jackets 6-2-2 in the first game of a back-to-back this season, and they are 6-3-1 in the second game of a back-to-back. So 12-8 in both instances of a back-to-back, both games of back-to-back so far this season. So that would also, or those point to Columbus for me. And then you also factor in that the Devils, since the start of December, or really since the last game of November, they are 4-11 at home. So we started the year talking about them not losing a game at home,
Right.
and now they can't seem to find a way to win at home. So I like the Blue Jackets off their recency in the last 2 weeks. I like them in the first of a back-to-back. I like them here tonight, especially at a -110 price. We'll see if I get there on the puck line, the reverse puck line.
I like it. I think that is the correct sign. Great points about them winning 5 straight. No stranger to playing on the road and winning 2, 4 straight road games, and 9-1 in their last 10. So feeling good, playing good. Really good numbers and stats that you bring up about them. First of a back-to-back, and second, it's got to say a lot about their goalies and kind of having faith in either or, but it will be the better of the 2, I believe, with Merz Lincoln's going tonight. So this should be a good goalie matchup here with Jacob Markstrom and him. So I like that side, and maybe a little bit of a lean to the under, even though the median numbers kind of lean to the over. Really just 3-3 for both of them there. So sitting there at that 6. But okay, let's keep it moving. I like that that pick from you, Ryan.
All right, going to Raleigh, North Carolina, where the Hurricanes are hosting the Ottawa Senators. We have a home favorite of a -175 price, a +155 on the Senators. Total of 6.5 with a 115 to the over.
I've got nothing in this one either. I think those numbers are just right here. I actually made Carolina -180 at home and 6.5 over -110. 2 backup goalies. So it will be interesting to see. Maybe we get more goals there. But, I mean, everything feels just right here. Ottawa, it is their second of a back-to-back. Did play yesterday. third game in 4 nights, but Carolina's right there, third game in 4 nights and fourth game in 6. So today is the day we're going to see a lot of wear and tear on these hockey teams. Coming up, it gets even worse for some of them, but tough one here for these two. Look at how good that goalie has been, Brandon Bussey for Carolina. So I can't do anything. I think that's a fair price for them at home.
Yeah. Talk about how good the Hurricanes have been recently, and they played in some pretty tight games. So they're winners of 3 of their last 4. Have played in 5 one-goal games in their last 6. Played the Senators yesterday, and they got home for me. They are winners of 4 straight games. They had covered the puck line in their 3 prior to last night, where they played a tight game against the Penguins in the second of a back-to-back, this being the second of a back-to-back tonight for the Senators. They are 5-2-1, with their most recent one being, both of these games were at home, but they played the Hurricanes and then played the Knights in consecutive nights, and then beat the Knights 7-1 in that second of a back-to-back. So not necessarily saying that they're extra in rhythm of recent in second of back-to-backs, but you're giving me a plus 155. I completely understand the goalie thing and going to have to be a very tough one in Brandon Bussey. But a plus 155 price is pretty tempting here for the Senators and how well they're playing recently.
It is funny, though, because we were talking before the show, and I was looking at yesterday, kind of already adjusting from the games yesterday with Pittsburgh and Ottawa, and I'm like, I'm going to have them better or the same as the Penguins, and the Senators are just so much better than the record shows. So cannot fault you there at all for taking that plus price there.
Even not on the money line, but just thinking it'll be a close game, possibly an overtime game. 325 there for a draw.
Nice. How many did we end up getting yesterday?
I think we got 3 of the 10.
Maybe 2?
Yeah, it might have just been 2.
Yeah.
I'll go look. Yeah, just 2. 2 games with overtime yesterday.
Well, I don't hate it at all.
All right. Going to up to Philly, where the Capitals are taking on the Flyers. I went to yesterday's odds, so now I got to go back to today's odds. But we got the Capitals, a plus 110 underdog, a minus 130 for the favorite, in the Flyers, in a total of 6.5, with a 120 to the under.
This is going to be one of the tougher handicaps here, because you got a team that found a way, got a big win yesterday in the Capitals, and then have to play on back-to-back. Their starting goalie and their backup goalie are both on the IR. So we saw their third string goalie yesterday. They got it done. Now it's looking like it is going to be somebody's debut here in Philadelphia. So I don't know how to handicap this. I don't really want to bet on the Flyers. Definitely don't want to lay a price with them. They have lost 6 straight home games. They've lost 4 straight coming into this one. So, if anything, I would be taking a shot on the Capitals and them kind of stepping up here for their young goalies. So, that's it for me. My numbers say 6, but I don't really want to get involved with the total either. So much unknown in the goalie position.
Taking a shot on the Capitals is exactly what I'm going to do here. They've beaten me 2 times in a row going against them. So we're going to test our luck and get a plus price here to bet on them and see what happens. Hopefully getting the winner with the plus 110 there with Capitals on the money line. Could
only be that for me as well. Flyers just not playing great hockey right now.
All right. Going up to UBS Arena, where the Islanders are playing host to the Penguins. Both teams in the second of a back-to-back. We got the Islanders. This game is a pick'em, minus 110 on the sides, and a total of 6 with a minus 120 to the under.
So you teased it yesterday, the Islanders, and today is the day because they are away to home on a back-to-back. It's their 3rd game in 4 nights. It's their 4th game in 6 nights, and it is their 6th game in 9. That is wild here. My number would be a little bit higher for them at home in this spot, minus 130. But I'm not going to play that. I am going to play the under. So I hope that they still got their legs under them to at least play some defense here, but might even help out. And I do trust both goalies going tonight. So it will be Skinner, who is playing very good in Pittsburgh, and then Sorokin on the other side, who right now is the favorite for the Vezina. So I like under. That is probably one of my best plays on the board today.
I will not go against you with the under. I will take the Penguins, though, on the money line. I played the Islanders yesterday, and it did not work out. But the Penguins have been playing very good recently, and kind of thinking the recent struggles for the Islanders, having to play so much of recent, and the Penguins playing some pretty tight games, competitive games. Games they lose, they're competitive. They play tight. Games they win, they kind of blow the other team out. So the Islanders are getting tired here and don't start fast. I'm hoping the Penguins do. But obviously not too many goals. Let's hope for maybe a 5-0.
That's fine with me. And Pittsburgh has won 4 straight road games coming into this. So good home and away.
All right, going to down to Tampa, where the Sabres are on the road against the Lightning. Got the Lightning as a minus 190 favorite, plus 170 for the Sabres, and a total of 6.5 with a 120 to the under.
I mean, I've got a lean here to Tampa Bay. I'm pretty surprised this is their first game this year, but it's tough to bet against the Sabres, who have won 5 straight road games. But then you've got Tampa Bay on the other side, who've won 8 home games. They've won 3 in a row coming into this one. Ryan, what do you think, though? Is there any letdown from that fantastic stadium game we saw on Sunday between them and the Bruins?
That's what I was kind of concerned for. Both teams really coming into this one off of electric final or most recent games. The comeback by the Lightning in Raymond James Stadium, where the Buccaneers play, against the Bruins, coming back from their largest comeback in franchise history, down 4 goals, getting a goalie fight. Everything you could ask for in a hockey game happened in the last one with the Lightning. And the Sabres playing last night had a pretty electric game against the Panthers, in a 5-3 win where they ultimately ended up covering the puck line, but it was pretty tight for the majority of it. We know that the Lightning have been one of the best teams in the National Hockey League of recent. They're winners of 17 of their last 19 games. So it was pretty difficult to try and go against that wagon right now. Yep. But with kind of how everything played out against Boston and how good that locker room feels and how they've been able to kind of build on the momentum in the last 2 months, regardless of how they feel, it's a pretty tough spot to try and predict them to have a flat one.
It's tough on both sides because, as you mentioned, and I kind of forgot that the Sabres just played yesterday, and that was a pretty don't want to say easy win, but they made it look like it. But we know that the Panthers are never easy win, so I'm going to stay off of that one.
The Sabres mentioned the back-to-back. They're 5-1-1 this season in the second of a back-to-back. Wow. They have won 5 straight seconds of a back-to-back. So wouldn't fault you for wanting to take the plus 170. This should be an outstanding hockey game tonight. Yeah,
one I'm definitely looking forward to, as well as the next 2.
This one up in Canada, in Edmonton, where the Maple Leafs are playing against the Oilers. We got the Oilers as a minus 190 favorite, plus 170 on the buyback for the Maple Leafs, and a total of 7 with a minus 125 to the under.
I do agree with that 7. I'm going to be honest. Getting plus 105 there. Taking a look at both of these 2 teams' medians, so it is pretty rare. Both of them 3 goals for and 4 goals against. It looks like it will be Anthony Stolarz against Tristan Jarry. So I don't know. That's the only way I'm really leaning. I do think Edmonton should be this big of a favorite. Maybe it's a puck line play on them, even though I don't trust them all that much. But Toronto, I mean, it's the second of their back-to-back. Edmonton does play tomorrow, but got to imagine they're going to give it their all in this first one, right, Ryan?
Yeah, and that's really kind of what I was debating between is going over that 7, getting a plus 105. You need 7 goals, or getting the Oilers to win by 2, being that the Maple Leafs just won by 2 last night. The Maple Leafs are winners of back-to-back games following a 6-game losing streak, so maybe they've kind of turned the tide and are building confidence going into the break. But I would like to think that the Oilers are going to be doing the same. So it's a matter of, do you think we'll get a plethora of goals in this one? Again, needing 8 to get over that 7, or if you're okay with getting the push there at the 7, or needing the Oilers to win by 2 and get the plus 120. I think I'd be more inclined to take in the 120 and the Oilers to win big at home. But there is obviously a ton of offensive potential in this one.
Yeah. I was wrong. It looks like it is going to be Connor Ingram tonight. So they hopefully Jari's good to go for tomorrow for their back-to-back. But either way, you want to play it. So you're leaning towards the puck line. I think I'm leaning towards just getting that over here, especially looking at Stolarz' numbers. 367 goals against and an 876 save percentage. So, but either way, I like both of those. But last but not least,
going down to Anaheim, where the Kraken are taking on the Ducks. We've got the Ducks as a minus 135 home favorite. There are 140s in the market, but we sit at 135 here at the South Point, and a plus 115 on your buyback for the Kraken. And a 6.5 is the total, with a minus 115 to the under.
okay, another one that I'm right there on all the numbers. I've got Anaheim minus 133. I've got a 6.5 under 5, so that really is over 15. So that's about it for me between these two. I did not check their record for the year, Ryan, if you did, but Seattle comes into this one winning 4 straight, and Anaheim 1 win coming into this, but they have won 4 home games prior to that little road trip. So something's got to give. One of these win streaks is going to be broken here. What are you seeing for their matchups already this year?
4th and final meeting. The Kraken won the first 2 by a final score of 3-1. They won in their home building in October. They won in Anaheim in December, just before Christmas. And then the Ducks won the most recent one 10 days ago, or 11 days ago. So more recent is kind of the start of the Ducks kind of heating up.
Yeah.
So it would be a look to the Ducks here. But I more than likely won't be playing this one.
Looks like Anaheim is one of the freshest teams. No numbers next to them with 3 and 4 or 4 and 6. And then Seattle's got one tomorrow where they go to LA and have to play another division opponent there. So yeah, I would only look to the home team here. We'll see how the rest of the night goes if I decide to get involved in the last game of the night.
We do have Bogcuster in the chat who's been very hot with his totals overs in the National Hockey League really the last week. So he's going with the over in this one. Kraken Ducks only have to lay the minus 105 price there. He does like the over there at the 6.5.
Okay, I saw somebody say an over 8. What was that about? Was that Toronto and Edmonton or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The alt line in the Tuesday night hockey game. I like it. Okay, are there any basketball for us before we take a quick break?
Let me take a look. Yes, we did have 2 requests from our guy Dean. We'll go first to 621, 622, Ole Miss at Tennessee. We have Ole Miss as an 11.5 point underdog here at the South Point. Tennessee laying 11.5 and a total of 140.5.
All right, I'm seeing on Kenny Waite's power rating sheet, Tennessee 11 and the total 126. So that looks like a pretty good underplay, but it has been bet up even a little bit there at 140.5. So Steam's kind of going the opposite direction, but let me see if there are any trends. It is because Tennessee 13-8 to the over. But both of these teams like to take their time, run out the shot clock there. So I think I could agree with that on the under there. And last but not least,
going down to the final tip-off of the night at San Diego State, 661-662. Wyoming taking on the Aztecs. The Aztecs of San Diego State are a minus 12.5 point favorite and a total of 142.
I see 12 and 141. So right there on those numbers. I think Wyoming is a lot better at home. Would rather back them there than on the road. All right. Well, let's take a quick break. When we get back, we'll have our guest and NFL expert joining us, Katie Mox from CBS Sports HQ. So don't go anywhere. You're watching Sports by the Book. We'll be right back after these commercials.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie, Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Ready to ramp up your excitement for playoff football? Join our hosts as they break down the matchups, key angles, and futures markets in the final episodes of Football Frenzy.
Seattle Seahawks get it done.
You look at these two teams and you say, wow, they did really well against quality opponents.
Brock Purdy to throw an interception tied up with the Seahawks in this game. I think that's a little bit of a correlation.
I would have given a huge ups to the Rams defensively. Not anymore.
Don't miss your chance to cash tickets and root for your favorite team. Stream Football Frenzy every Friday at noon Pacific.
Welcome back, everybody. You are watching Sports by the Book, live from the South Point Hotel and Casino. All right, I'm really looking forward to this. Have not got to talk to her in quite some time. Katie Mox, I keep saying CBS Sports HQ, but really she's CBS Sports Line, a million things there with them. So let's bring her in. I'm very excited. You are going to the Super Bowl, and since I've known you, you've been covering them. But this year, just going back to your hometown and get to be there for fun.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's always a thrill to talk to you. I feel like it's like once a year, sister, that we get on here and talk Super Bowl. Yes. So this is the first year since I started working at CBS that I am not going for coverage. I'm just going for fun. And I can't tell you how exciting that is for me. One, it's in my hometown. I'm from the Bay Area. So there was just no way that I was going to miss this. And two, like I normally work so much that I can't do anything fun. I've never gone to events or parties or any of the cool stuff. So it's going to be fun just to experience it in a different way and not having to, get up at like 5 a.m. Especially for a West Coast Super Bowl and do some work there. So I am super excited. I leave tomorrow.
Still, I'm sure you'll be all around Radio Row and everything, and people can follow you at Katie Mox because you do a ton on social as well.
Yes. And I will be at Radio Row, I believe, on Thursday, maybe just bopping around. But I'm not trying to do too much because I just want to experience a different version of Super Bowl than having to work all the time. I'm bummed that, my 49ers didn't get in, but at the same time, they had so many injuries this year that it was a miracle that they got to where they did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know Shanahan's definitely going to be in the running for Coach of the Year. We find out on Thursday, I believe, for those, but it looks like Vrabel's might have that one locked up. But did it matter which one it was between the Seahawks and the Rams who were going to be playing in your stadium?
It's so funny. If you would have asked me like 10 years ago, my hatred for the Seahawks was a lot stronger. And then in recent years, it's really been the Rams. And so, sister, I just wanted them both to lose, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And I do think, and I know that we're going to get into it, but I do think this Seattle wins. And so the fact that one of our rivals will win a Super Bowl in our stadium is, it's a tough pill to swallow. That's for sure.
Well, you were here in Vegas when Vegas got to host their first Super Bowl, and the Raiders had to go through it with the Chiefs.
Yes,
so
that's true.
Definitely
That's true.
Unfortunate. But let's get into
and the 49ers lost that Super Bowl, so that was a tough one for me as well.
That's right. I'm sorry. Just putting salt on the wounds here. But let's get into some of your favorite props, and we'll get into what side you do like. Maybe spread. You did say you like the Seahawks, but not necessarily to cover. So let's get into it. Let's start with the Patriots side. Drake May, how are you looking to attack his props this year?
So obviously the big speculation with Drake May is the shoulder, how much of an impact is that going to be? I would scale from like 1 to 10. I think it's probably a 2. I'm not that worried about it. Kind of reminds me when they were talking about Sam Darnold's ribs in the divisional round versus my 49ers, and he didn't have any problems in that game. They're going to shoot him up with some Toradol. We did see him coming off the plane holding his luggage. So I'm not necessarily worried about his arm strength in this game. I think it'll be fine. However, this Seattle defense can give him a ton of problems. So I'm going to stay away from any of his passing props. And instead, I'm going to look at something that has been cashing for him for quite some time. And that's over on his rushing yards. Line I have right now is at 37.5. He's averaging over this mark at about 47 in the postseason, 10 plus carries in 2 of those 3 games, including outings of 65 and 66 yards. Obviously, we know that Seattle can create some pressure, and that pressure is going to create lanes for Drake May. Seattle, 40.1% pressure rates, right? So that's going to invite those QB scrambles. And May has consistently punished aggressive fronts by taking off. So I expect him to do that on Sunday. He is a dual threat. Again, I don't think there's going to be too much a problem with his pocket passing. He is elite there, but his mobility is what intrigues me the most. And he is able to turn those scrambles into some chunk gains here. And what we've seen is the market is already adjusted, right? His rushing prop upward, which is reflected in the number, but his role baked into the offense. I do think that this 37 and a half, is a little bit too low. So give me Drake in the ground game.
Could also look at maybe rushing attempts if it gets any higher for people out there, but I agree with you. I do think that's a great angle there. Ryan has one for you, and it actually kind of correlates with what he was looking at when it comes to who is scoring the first touchdown.
Well, yeah, you're talking about rushing, so I was curious what you're looking at running back prop-wise, and then maybe there's a couple different correlated things that because I know what you're playing. But anyway, what you're looking at.
So in terms of rushing, I am looking at Kenneth Walker. Obviously, there was so much talk about him with Zach Charbonnet out. in the NFC Championship game. And a lot of people were fading him, ended up having a great game. I looked at him in that game and his receiving yards. I'm going to do that again. It's at 21.5. Obviously, we've seen the expanded role. Didn't seem like too much of a problem for him in that NFC Championship game. I do think that he will become and has become the primary back on dump offs, on screens, naturally, of course, boosting his receiving floor. I do think he's a little bit game script proof. I wouldn't necessarily take him over on his rush yards. But even if his rushing workload dips, Seattle's going to be scheming, right? And getting him these touches in space. So I do think the receptions are built into the game plan, regardless of what this score is. And he doesn't even need the volume. I feel like he gets there 2 to 3 catches. He's going to clear this 21.5 pretty quickly here. I also do like him for the first touchdown. So I have this price at plus 340. And the reason why I like this, I think it's just like a higher payout option for a player that's got 4 touchdowns in 2 postseasons game. If you look at the Seattle Seahawks to score first, that's juiced to minus 130. If you look at his anytime, that's minus 190. So if you think Seattle's going to score first and you're looking at a guy that does it routinely, might as well take him at plus 340.
Well, another thing that you could probably take a price on is here at the South Point, the Seahawks to score a rushing TD in the first half. It is a plus 120 price here. So that was a couple of things that I was looking at, was really both teams looking at scoring a rushing touchdown in the first half. The Patriots are plus 175, but the Seahawks plus 120 there to match up with your Kenneth Walker.
I love it. I love it.
Anything else with running backs? Are we looking at either running backs, even if it's unders with Stevenson or Henderson for the Patriots, or even Helani? I know that a lot of people are kind of looking at attacking him too, but again, we agree with you. We do like your first 2 with the rushing yards for Drake May and the receiving yards for Kenneth Walker. But running back wise, anything else?
No, not really. I mean, obviously, I do think that that the Patriots have like a 1-2 punch on their side. I just don't know how successful the Patriots are going to be. I think this is going to, we'll get into the spread a little bit. I think it's going to be more of a blowout than even this line projects right now. And look, maybe it's because I'm licking my wounds as a 49ers fan who the last 2 or twice in the last 3 weeks of our season, Seattle absolutely demolished us. And even in that week 17 game or week 18 game, Christian McCaffrey struggled to get it going. So I just think they're going to clamp down here. I don't see a lot of success. I think this score is going to be heavily a blowout in the Seahawks' favor here. So I don't have anything on the other side. I just kind of like Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks.
Well, let's dive into that. So we actually have one of the better numbers if you do like the Patriots here at the South Point, because one of the few 5s, and it's minus 105 from both sides. So, but if you're looking for the Seahawks, you got to find one of those 4.5s out there, unless you got in early with the 3.5. But what are you anticipating here with the spread wise?
Yeah, I mean, the 3.5 would be lovely, but I'm not even worried about the 4.5, guys. First of all, I thought it was interesting. This is the first time that Seahawks have been favored in a Super Bowl, but they are 13-1 straight up in their last 14 playoff games as favorites. And it's really this defense, right? If we're talking about MVP, I don't think it's going to be Sam Darnold, because they don't really need Sam Darnold in this game. He's got to be efficient. He can't turn the ball over like he sometimes does. But this defense is elite and it travels. They allow a league low of 17.2 points per game. They rank 3rd versus the run, which is what kind of leads me into how I think they're going to stop the backs on the other side. 91.9 yards per game. This is just the profile that covers spreads on the biggest stage. They're balanced offensively. Sam Darnold, there's been a lot of things about him, right? Everyone was kind of waiting for him to turn into Sam Darnold, to start seeing ghosts. We do know that it was against the Patriots during his Jets career where he did see some ghosts, but so far he hasn't been playing into that role that or that box that people have put him in. And I think he's going to be great in this game. Seahawks average 28.4 points per game, 351 yards per game. It just gives them that margin if this does turn into a shootout, which I don't suspect that it will. And they're against the spread darlings, 12-5 against the spread in the regular season, 7-3 against the spread over their last 10, and have covered 4 straight entering the Super Bowl. So I think this is going to be like a 27, like 18 kind of a score. I don't think it's going to be close.
Well, my only concern, because I'm with you, Katie, 100%. And you saw those alt lines up there. I'm kind of nervous about putting all my eggs in one basket here and being too heavy on Seattle, and maybe the wheels falling off with Sam Darnold. But I do think Mike
hasn't
McDonald
done it
is
yet,
great.
but yeah,
that's true. 2 seasons, 14 wins, right?
Uh-huh.
With 2 different teams. So was there any alternate spreads that you would look at? We've got them here minus 7.5, minus 10.5, minus 14.5. Would you take a little
Ooh,
sprinkle
no,
on
I'm
any of
not
those?
going that way. I mean,
Okay.
I might, hold on. Let me look at this. Let's see. 7.5. Oh, so my little screen is over it.
150 is
Okay.
7.5, 10.5, 220, 14.5 is
Yeah.
320.
I mean, maybe I would do a 7.5, but I feel just fine with the 4.5 guys. Maybe I'm not going to get too greedy on this one, but I do think that it's not going to be good for the Patriots. I think it's a really fun story. Also, guys, when you think about it, the Patriots had the easiest path to the Super Bowl when you think about their strength of schedule this year. Then let's look at the playoffs. They saw Justin Herbert. Then they got to see CJ Stroud. And then in that game versus the Broncos, I would never say they got lucky, but they did have a 3-point lead up to the point of the blizzard where nobody could get anything done offensively. So that 3 points really protected them there. Do I think that Denver, if it wasn't a blizzard, could have come back and win that game? Probably. So I'm just not sold on the Patriots yet. I think it's kind of a miracle that they ended up in the Super Bowl this year.
Well, maybe thinking New England can maybe not necessarily shut down Jackson Smith and Jigba, but is there a different receiver for the Seahawks that you think might do something?
I love JSN, and yeah, he's nearly impossible to shut down. But I love the story with Cooper Kupp, and I love kind of his resurgence. Obviously, he was heartbroken when he was let go with the Rams there, and to go to your rival. And it was really cute to see in the NFC Championship game that Matt Stafford went and found him, and Puka went and found him. They're like, "Go win it all," and you could tell that that love is really there. And I'm excited for what he's able to do in this game. I do like him for an anytime touchdown. I see it at plus 260 here. He's already proven, guys, that he can decide a Super Bowl. He won the MVP a few years ago, 2 touchdowns, including that game winner. He's just clutch when it matters on the stage. And I do think that he is getting more trust in this offense. He absolutely shreds both man and zone coverage. And so I don't think it's going to be a problem for him there. And he's just a red zone technician, right? He wins with his body. He can control, he can leverage. It's not just his speed. He boxes out defenders. So I think that Coop gets in the end zone here, gets another Super Bowl touchdown under his belt. And I do probably like him over his catches too. Is that line 4.5?
Let me check. Here at the South Point, it is just 2.5.
All day. Take the over there. He's
Minus
definitely getting more.
160 there.
Mm-hmm.
I would love it if he did get a touchdown and maybe even 2, because I did take a small piece of him MVP. You have Kenneth Walker.
Yes.
You like him to score the first one. You like Cooper Kupp to score. So where are you kind of looking? You kind of already teased, maybe not Sam Darnold. Are you looking down the board for MVP?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably if it's going to be someone on the offense, it'll probably be JSN, because as good as I think Sam Darnold is, and I think he's going to win a Super Bowl, which is just so crazy for me to say when you think about his career, the path to getting here. But if they win, it's really going to be because of the defense. But I don't think that anyone on the defense is going to necessarily win MVP. And there's probably going to be some spectacular, crazy catch by JSN that's gonna do it here. So I probably take him. I just can't. And maybe it's me being a little bit of a hater because I'm a 49ers fan, but I can't give Sam Darnold the MVP as much as I appreciate what he's done.
Well, let's talk about it, because really, I mean, his time in San Francisco kind of turned his career around, didn't it? Isn't there was talk of what really helped him there, and I thought it had a lot to do with Brock Purdy.
Well, first of all, San Francisco is the place where wayward quarterbacks come and find their love of the game again. We saw it with Sam Darnold. We're seeing it with Mac Jones as well. In fact,
Yeah.
Mac Jones likely staying for another season just because he's happy and he loves it. And a lot of times you see these first rounders. Look, you want to be a first round pick out of the draft. You get the money, get the accolades. But the reality is you go to a bad team, right? And you don't go to a team that has all the pieces in place for you to be successful. And a lot of times they get beat down, both physically and emotionally. And then it's hard for them to ever get back on track. And what we've seen Kyle Shanahan and also the Vikings do a very good job of it as well, as taking these quarterbacks and giving them a resurgence in their career. But like you said, it's not just Shanahan. It's Brock Purdy. And even though he was the last guy in the draft and Mr. Irrelevant, everybody who was on the 49ers and in that locker room says this man is a leader. And he's an elite. I know it's up for debate to call him elite or not, but he's an extremely proficient quarterback. And a lot of people do have a lot to learn from him. And we've seen it from Sam Darnold, and we've seen it also from Mac Jones. And it's honestly cool. And I feel like the Vikings, for us, letting Sam Darnold go was fine. We ended up getting Mac Jones, who played very well this year. But the Vikings, I think, are the team that are probably really kicking themselves for letting Sam Darnold go.
Pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting to go this way, but talking about all the teams and the coaching hiring, one to go with the Las Vegas Raiders. It looks like it will be Kubiak after the Super Bowl, hopefully. Pretty good. Looks like it was a good coaching hiring, right? Is there any surprises? Or I know you're probably upset that Robert Saleh's leaving the Niners as well, but overall, any that you really like and any that you don't like?
Well, first of all, it was a shocking coaching carousel this year. I think some names that we didn't expect to go. Like, I didn't think that Harbaugh was going to be out in Baltimore. I didn't know that Tomlin was going to say, hey, I want to take a break here. I'm going to release myself. I didn't think that Pittsburgh would necessarily fire him, but I didn't think that he was going to step down either. I do think that Harbaugh to the Giants is amazing. And also, the Bills. I didn't think they were going to walk away from McDermott either. Like, there was just some crazy things happening in this coaching carousel kind of cycle. So it was like everything was up for grabs. It's one of those things where you're sad that Robert Saleh is gone. I mean, what he did with the defense this year was nothing short of incredible. I mean, he was working with like Walmart cashiers at some point, you know what I mean? And it was turning them into a serviceable defense. They lost all of their stars, but at the same time, he earned the right to be a head coach again and to prove himself again. Do I think that the Titans was the best thing for him? Probably not. It kind of scares me a little bit. I hope he's not going to end up in the same place he did a while ago, but I think he made some good choices with offensive coordinator. And so that should be good for Cam Ward. But I think probably the one that I'm most impressed with, well, also I love McDaniel working under Harbaugh with the Chargers. That one is very interesting to me. I love McDaniel. I think he's a boy wizard. Was he a great head coach? Can he command a locker room? Does he have that kind of respect from players? Maybe not. So I feel like learning under Harbaugh for 1 year and really getting a quarterback like Justin Herbert is going to be really exciting to see. So I love that move. I'm happy for Saleh, but I think the Giants getting Harbaugh is probably the biggest move and something that the people of New York, I'm sure, are thrilled about. And I'm excited to see how that plays out. And I was also interested to see, and what I thought was really great was McCarthy going to the Steelers, right? He is a Yinzer. He is front, and his speech. Did you guys watch when he had his first speech and he was choked up and he was saying, this place means so much to me. I love Pittsburgh. And that was really cool to see. And it was different for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Normally when they have hired a new head coach, which obviously doesn't happen very often, they go for younger, defensive-minded, a lot of DCs, and promote them to that position. So getting a veteran coach who's more of a offense guy is interesting, and we'll see what happens with Aaron Rodgers. But all in all, I mean, I thought it was just exciting and like a wild ride this postseason.
I agree, definitely. And we'll lean on you because I know you'll be covering everything up until the draft. And where can everybody find you with CBS Sports and all your coverage?
Yeah, so I host Primetime Pregame, which is 6 o'clock Eastern, 6 to 7 Eastern on CBS Sports HQ every day. That's where we go through the entire slate of games or the most notable ones and get you set with our Sportsline cappers with the best bets of the day. I also fill in every once in a while on the regular programming on HQ. And you can catch me there. You can follow me on Twitter at Katie Mox or on Instagram at Katie Mox Bets.
Katie, I do want to jump back into the coaching talk, and it is talking about your 49ers. They do hire their fourth different defensive coordinator 4 years in a row, but they do hire a former head coach in Raheem Morris and the guy that was the defensive coordinator for the Rams when they won their Super Bowl. So how excited are you that Raheem Morris is going to be leading that defense?
It is the best case scenario for us. Obviously, fans are sad to lose Robert Saleh when you think about how much he means to this team and what he was able to do. But of everyone that was available to us, Raheem Morris is the best that we could do. So I'm very excited about it. I love that he and Kyle Shanahan have a longstanding friendship. There was that story about what happened at the Combine years ago. And I just think it's a great hire for the defense, and hopefully everybody gets healthy, and then we can really see what Raheem Morris can do. But I think it's the best situation for him, and I think it's the best situation for the Niners.
Definitely agree with that too. Katie, you are the best. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Enjoy your time being a fan out there for Super Bowl. Have so much fun, and we'll check in before a year. This time.
Yes, please.
It's mid-season or something. We got to check in with you and see how everything is going. But we appreciate you. Again, follow her at Katie Mox. Have fun. And thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.
All right, Ryan, let's take a quick break. When we get back, we will go through our whiteboards, our best bets for the day, and then check in with the chat. Make sure we hit all of the college basketball games that were requested. We'll be right back here on Sports by the Book.
Heading to Las Vegas to catch the action at Allegiant Stadium? Skip the traffic and the sky-high room rates of the Strip. Book your stay at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. The South Point is located just 7 miles away from the stadium, and it's a quick trip up the freeway, making it an affordable rideshare or taxi ride. And don't worry about getting here when you land in Vegas. We offer a convenient airport shuttle to get your getaway off to a stress-free start. Shuttles are also available on Raider game days for a small fee. So whether you're rooting for your team or seeing your favorite band in concert at Allegiant Stadium, South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa is your ticket to all the excitement.
Ready to ramp up your excitement for playoff football? Join our hosts as they break down the matchups, key angles, and futures markets in the final episodes of Football Frenzy.
Seattle Seahawks get it done.
You look at these two teams and you say, wow, they did really well against quality opponents.
Brock Purdy to throw an interception tied up with the Seahawks in this game. I think that's a little bit of a correlation.
I would have given a huge ups to the Rams defensively. Not anymore.
Don't miss your chance to cash tickets and root for your favorite team. Stream Football Frenzy every Friday at noon Pacific.
Here we go, wrapping it up on a Tuesday. Time for our best bets trivia, and we'll see how the poll did that we had during our live stream here. Another thank you to Katie, really appreciate her. It's funny, Ryan, because we kind of joke about the freeze frame that gets stuck there right after they are on video, and of course hers is just perfect. She's just laughing. And there we go. Yeah, everybody else's is always like them awkwardly looking up or down, but all right, let's go to our trivia. Give everybody a shot here to answer it, and then we'll go through best bets and then come back and read the answer.
All right, Ticker Trivia presented by City Light Shine, available at Lee's Discount Liquor, Total Wine, and here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. It is another Super Bowl question for you as we are in Super Bowl week. So the New England Patriots have made 11 previous Super Bowl appearances, winning 6 of those games. Of their 6 championships, which game had the largest margin of victory, but the lowest final total? So we'll give you guys a chance to answer that, even though I think Attila might already have that, but maybe follow Attila there. But yeah, we'll get to some other stuff that we have for you guys before we reveal our final answer.
Very good. Okay, and it looks like we are all caught up on our basketball. I'll start it off with best bets. Today, I only have one hockey. I actually do like 2 of Ryan's, but I'm not going to. I mean, he stayed off the overtime the other day. So I'll just say it, but I'm not going to put it on the board. But here we go. Time for our whiteboard best bets of the day. I'm going with another under. We got there yesterday with the Islanders and the Capitals. We're going today with the Penguins and the Islanders under 6. I do trust both goalies. And then here's the 2 college basketball. I'll put them on the board today. Toledo -1 versus Kent State, and Indiana State -1.5 versus Evansville. Both of them the home team there. I'll have to make sure that those didn't move. But I also do like Columbus. Ryan made some solid points. I thought -110 was good, but with their win streak and how they're playing, I'd add in a little bit more there. So I do like that side. And then I like that plus price with the Capitals. So that is another lean. Capitals versus the Flyers, who have lost 6 straight home games. So, all right, to Ryan.
All right, 4 money line plays on my whiteboard. I will mention some overtime prices because they are all over $3. If you want to think that it's a tight game, I do think the majority of them will be tight games. But anyway, what's on the board is the Columbus Blue Jackets money line, a -110 price in New Jersey. The Ottawa Senators, moneyline price, getting plus 155 there in Carolina against the Hurricanes. The Capitals getting a plus 110 price in Philly against the Flyers. And the Penguins laying a minus 110 there on the road in New York. So got 4 road warriors. And then the overtime games that I might be looking at, I'll have to fight myself on whether or not I'm actually playing it. But Senators, Hurricanes, getting a plus 325 price there in overtime. Sabres, Lightning. That one's really more just a rooting interest. Want to see as much hockey as we can in that one, and preferably as many goals as we can in that one. That's a 320 price there. And then Toronto and Edmonton. I get that I made the argument of Edmonton covering the puck line or that game going over the total of 7. Both of those were a plus price, but this one, you're getting 345 for that one to go to overtime.
Wow.
And the Oilers ultimately not covering the puck line in that one. But yeah, just to keep those in mind, we'll see if I actually end up playing any of them.
Thank you for reminding me. I actually do like that over as well, over 7. And we're expecting a high scoring one there between those two. But okay, we have poll results,
we do
and
have poll
then
results.
we'll catch everybody up on what we got going on tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday.
And we'll also reveal our ticker trivia answer. So first going with today's poll, going with Totally Tuesday. Which alternate total prop side are you taking? Give you guys 35.5 under there, plus 330, under 40.5, plus 190. A over 54.5, getting plus 270, and over 59.5. And we have it split on the two that are closest to the actual total. We have a 33% tie on the under 40.5, getting a plus 190, and we have a 33 tie on the over 54.5. So our viewers are going to have to fight that one out and let us know whether or not we're getting more scoring in the Super Bowl or less scoring in the Super Bowl. I tend to think we're going over, but we got Agent 87 let us know that he likes the under, and I know that you have liked the under, but we just talked about the potential for special teams. So, yeah, we got a tie today in our poll for our chat.
I was gonna just play first half under, but even that makes me a little worried. I think there's a 7.5 first quarter under, so that might be the only way that I do play the total.
Okay. All right, ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine. Again, available at Lee's Discount Liquor, Total Wine, and here at the South Point Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Super Bowl question, Super Bowl week. The New England Patriots have made 11 previous Super Bowl appearances, winning 6 of those 11. Of those 6 titles, which game had the largest margin of victory but the lowest final total? And that would be Super Bowl 53, February 3rd, 2019, in Atlanta, Georgia, when a 13-3 final score had the Patriots victorious over the Los Angeles Rams. While it was the largest margin of victory to date for the Patriots in a Super Bowl, that 16-point total for the game was the lowest of those 6 championships. Patriots' first championship title came in Super Bowl 36, in which the Patriots also played the Rams in that one, winning that one 20-17. And as we mentioned before, Attila did get the correct answer of today's City Light Shine ticker trivia of a 13-3 final there in Super Bowl 53. Big shout out to Vince for that question and those notes for it.
The crazy thing is that total was set close to 50.
Yeah.
And the final score was 13-3. So pretty wild there. Okay, I think that's it, Ryan. I guess the last thing, we talked about the big game parties here at the South Point. Do want to just remind everybody that there are parlay cards. So you're used to adding up a bunch of college and NFL games, but this one's different. You can add in all the props here. And it is 10 for 10 pays 800 to 1. So,
yep.
But you can also just do 3 and try and hit 3 for 3, 6 to 1 here.
Yeah, you've got a 4 on the spread in that one. So if you like the Seahawks, only having to lay a 4 there. You got a 46 on the total. You can predict the first score of each quarter or whether or not there will be no score in the quarter. The amount of interceptions, the amount of fumbles, the amount of field goals made. The parlay card is a pretty good one for this Super Bowl 60. And as Alex had mentioned, 10 for 10 pays 600 to 1.
There we go. And then for the rest of the week tomorrow, looking forward to it. Matt and Everett will be here in studio. We're going to come up with some categories here. We're going to go quarterback prop, running back prop, wide receiver prop, and then maybe some extras there between us three. So going to be a lot of fun. Dwayne Colucci, Thursday. We don't know if he's in studio or remote, but no matter what, we will get to talk to Dwayne from the resort at Summerlin. And then Friday, we get all the bookies here with us, Chris Andrews, Vinny Maiulo, and Jay Cornier. So should be a lot of fun for the next 3 days. Ryan, any final thoughts from today's show?
No, I thought that was great. Thank you for getting Katie on. That was an absolutely amazing guest. The viewers enjoyed it. And we'll be cutting that up and putting that separate for everyone else to enjoy, just the interview with Katie. So plenty of prop talk there with her, and my 4 hockey games, your 2 hockey plays, and your 2 basketball plays. Hopefully we win every one of them.
That's right. I did end up adding the over here, so it's official because I am going to be betting it. So there we go. Good luck, Ryan. Let's cash some tickets. Good luck to everybody who's watching, who is making some bets tonight. Need a bankroll for Super Bowl. Thank you to the crew and Jerry, Sean, Vince, and Andrew. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m., as we always are. For Ryan McCormick, I'm Alex White. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is Sports by the Book.